Hello everyone. We're in a lot of trouble, you know why? Because look, Kim Kardashian, 5 top stories of today. Take a look at US Weekly's most read stories for March 27th. No one wants to know about what's really happening. Oh, so everyone's going to be a slave and their souls sold to the devil. Oh well. Can't get through to people. Okay, I just want to show you something because please look at this. This guy, Chunky Mark, and he made this video on March 17th, and he got all these views, and he is ranting. So you can look this up, the Great Cyprus Bank Robbery. If I remember by the time I get done with this video, I will put a link so you can just click on it, but I'm not sure that I will. Okay, have a listen to this.
These bankers are fucking running amok. They are running amok. They are destroying everything. Everything will be gone. The poorest people are going to go first. They're already fucking going. We need to shut down the markets. We cannot have fucking the rich people gambling on whether poor people live or fucking die. What kind of society would allow that? They need to be shut down. You can't have that shit.
Okay, I'm going to stop it right there. He uses a lot of F words, but just think that it's like spice or pepper, okay, to make his point. But he's definitely makes a case there, and I completely agree with him. Now I'm going to show you Greg Mannarino. Greg Mannarino, this came out today, and he says if he had any people watching him in Cyprus, if they had listened to what he had to say, which is get your money out of the banks now, not just, get dressed and go to the bank. This is what he's saying, and get your money out right now. If they had done that, and he's been saying it for months, they would not have lost any money. But I think the big problem is people don't know where, if they get all their money out of the bank, where do they put it and keep it safe? Because you can't even trust the safety deposit boxes anymore. You know, Bank of America has stolen that in the US, and in Hong Kong they have bulldozed some safety deposit boxes when they were remodeling or something, lost all that. So I don't really know either, but listen to Greg. I'm going to move it up here just to some random point, okay? But please go watch him too.
People, get outside the banking system. Do it now. If you haven't done it, I urged all of you to do it yesterday. I said, people, when you finish watching this video, go to your institution and pull out your cash. We're already seeing this happen in Europe. The mainstream media, as a matter of fact, is talking about it, and that's interesting. When the mainstream media has to admit something, you know there's a problem. We already understand that banks throughout Europe are seeing capital outflows like they've not seen before. It's not being reported widely, but it's happening.
Okay, so I'm just going to stop that there. So, I mean, he said it yesterday, he's saying it today, and if you want to take him seriously or not, up to you, but maybe most of the people are busy watching the 5 top stories, which would include Kim Kardashian. Okay, so the reason why people need to pay attention is because, look at this, brand new GMO food can rewire your body, more evil coming. Okay, this is by John Rappaport, and let's see, it's probably down here somewhere where it's, well, anyway, that's who wrote it. And they have designed some kind of GMO foods that can suppress and activate different genes. So how do you avoid this? Well, you can't avoid it if you don't know about it. So this is a big problem. And I know a lot of people, if they're watching what I have to say, then they already know a lot of this. But what about people who don't know? And how is this GMO rewiring your DNA, your RNA, and all this stuff, how is it going to affect, what's the connection with the banks and biometrics and all of that? Well, people are, the scientists, the governments, DARPA, Google, NASA, they know what they're doing, and they are linking people, they are rewiring people. And you know that video, I made a video of a person getting a rice or grain, a chip the size of a grain of rice implanted in his hand. But you know what? I think that that is a really primitive technology compared to what they do have. And all of this is connected. The food, the biometrics, the banks, everything. This is all about the one world government control. And it's hard to dig beneath the surface and know what's going on. You know, it's the rabbit hole kind of thing, but have to do it. Have to look deeper into things and get your hands on some silver, some gold. And you know, when people say, well, you can't eat gold or silver, but why don't they say you can't eat paper dollars also? But okay, let's just say somebody comes to me and we're in this collapse or whatever, and I have some food that I'm willing to share, and if they have something to offer me for trade, do you think I want their dollars? No, I would just give them some bread or something. But if they had gold or silver and they said, I'll trade you this for some food, definitely I would take the gold and silver. Now when it comes to our souls in the real end times, and when if we're totally starving, of course gold and silver isn't going to mean anything. And it says somewhere in the Bible that people will be throwing their silver in the streets. It will be meaningless. But it also says in the Bible that the world's going to end in a ball of fire in Peter, and we have nuclear weapons to destroy the earth like a zillion times over. So have to keep things in proper balance. But in the meantime, we can learn about some of these things that are going on. Want to point this out to you. Free Lakota Bank. What an honorable idea. Someone on YouTube told me about this because my family background is Santee Sioux, which is Lakota, I think. And look what this bank, you must investigate it. It is so fantastic. You can have silver accounts there, and they tell you also where to buy silver somewhere in their whole, you know, all this information here. Lakota currency, it's really great to look at. Okay, so they have this quote from Ayn Rand. Money is the barometer of society's virtue. When you see that trading is done not by consent but by compulsion, when you see that in order to produce you need to obtain permission from men who produce nothing, when you see your laws don't protect you against them but protect them against you, when you see corruption being rewarded and honesty becoming a self-sacrifice, you may know that your society is doomed. Wow, it sounds like our society. So that is a really great quote, and you can read all about their aims, goals, mission, and everything, and look up these approved silver currencies. And you know, you can get silver in your IRA and your gold in your IRA, but that's probably not safe either. So a while ago I was looking at the progress of gold being moved up as a tier 1 asset, which means that it can be used as money. So in February it was rejected, and I just went to a lecture recently, and at that lecture I asked experts, this one guy's on TV and everything, and I said, is gold a tier 1 asset yet or now? And he said, good question, I don't know. So even the experts don't know. It takes everyone on their own to really dig and find out. But the banks are collecting gold for sure, and if they make it a tier 1 asset and it's valued and used as money, it will go up, and they don't want you to know. Oh look, progressives have their eye on your 401k. Okay, so there's called this bank, the Bank of International Settlements, and they decide. So I know it's hard to keep up with all this stuff, and I'm not saying that I can understand it either, but I found someone who can explain it, and look at this. This guy, his name is Paddy Hirsch, and he is an amazing guy who explains some of these concepts. Look at this. Okay, I'm just going to play a little random area here. I don't even know what he's going to say, but he's going to explain that tier 1, tier 2, tier 3 is like a wedding cake. Here's the couple on top. Tier 3 is depositors' money. It is the least controllable. You can lose it here. Tier 2 is more controllable. Tier 1 is the most controlled asset. And he said this is like the part where the bride and the groom, they keep this part, they put it in a can, and 20 years later they take out the cake and eat it, and it's all. So he's using this analogy of a wedding cake. So listen to what he has to say.
They do is they take the first kind of 2 tiers off, and then they really cut into the 3rd tier. So it's the 3rd tier that actually gets the knife. Is the knife we're going to use? All right. So, and the 3rd tier is the bit that gets distributed to all of the guests, like all the hoi polloi guests who come. They get a slice of the 3rd tier. All right. 2nd tier is kind of given off to the top table. So this is everyone gets a bit of this. Everyone gets some of this. And then tier 2 goes to kind of the top table. All right. But tier 1, the top tier, okay, this the nice little piece, the centerpiece. Obviously, they take the decoration off the top, and they take this, and this is certainly traditional where I come from. Is they take it, you pop it in a cake tin, put the lid on, and you keep it for 20 years. Then you eat it on your 20th anniversary. All right, so you're obviously keeping that for a long time. So what on earth does this have to do with banks? Okay, well, in banks, what we have is we have tier 1 and tier 2 capital. We don't actually have tier 3 capital, but there's lots of other capital in the bank. And this kind of 3rd tier of capital that they have is depositors' money. And the reason it's like this big piece of cake that gets divided up is because it's the first thing to go. Because if you're a depositor and you put your money into a bank and you think that the bank is threatened, what do? You take your money out. And the bank has no control over that. It can't stop you taking your money out. It's your money, right? So if there's a run on the bank, this is the first thing to go. The 3rd tier disappears first. The 2nd tier is a little bit more controllable. It's made of all sorts of investments that the bank has made. And some types of preferred stock and that kind of thing, and that tier is much more controllable by the bank. But of course, it's those investments can be risky, so of course they can deteriorate in value fairly quickly. The tier 1, the top tier, the stuff that's actually at the heart of the bank, is based around what's called shareholder equity. That's essentially the money that shareholders have put into the bank by buying shares. And of course, those shares have appreciated over time.
Okay, I'm going to stop it right there. But if you watch this, it is amazing because he does go back in when it's moves on a little bit, and he explains why this disappears. And the bankers will have the gold up here. So can you see why you need to get your money out and get gold? So you will be like the bankers and have the 1st tier, even though gold is not called 1st tier yet. But also you have to pay attention to the food you eat so you don't get wired into the genetically modified whatever they're doing with the water, the fluoride, the chemtrails, the everything that is the transhumanists, NASA, Google, DARPA, all of that. They are after you. This is a battle of dark and light. Okay, well, I have to go pretty soon, and I don't know if there's anything else that I wanted to show you, but oh yes, there was. I want to show you this. Skulls. I went shopping with my friend who is not interested in any kind of gold or silver or anything, but every store we went, I'm not kidding, H&M to much higher stores, high-end stores.
I'm shopping with a friend.
Okay,
This is her favorite.
Wait a second. Okay, I'm making a video of my video. But there were skulls in every store, every type, and skulls and crossbones and, okay, look.
Thing. She won't buy gold and silver, but she'll go shopping, shoe shopping and everything. So I found these bags. High-end. More death culture.
Okay, more death culture. I gotta go. Bye for now. Take care. Stay safe.